Hi, my name is Terry Quinn, and this is my self-assessment video for public speaking. I've taken other public speaking classes before. I'm not a spring chicken. And the hardest part of the class was standing up in front of people that you didn't know, classmates or whoever, and giving a speech and worrying about what you were going to wear, if you were going to trip, if you were going to stutter, if you couldn't breathe, what if your visual aids didn't work out. And with this class, that was taken out because of the video option. And I get it, it's COVID and it's an online class, but it made the class pretty easy. Even knowing that nobody else besides the teacher, the professor, was going to see the videos, kind of altered my plan and how I presented, maybe even how I looked for the day. So that was a little odd for me. How I did, or how I felt that I did on the speeches. This first speech was easy for me to write. That was a personal speech. The information was already in my head. I was able to write it quickly, but presenting it was a little bit more difficult because it was so personal. So I felt the difficult part of that speech was just presenting it without having an emotional attachment to it. The second video that I did was on Reba, and I had to research her. I had to look her up. It took me a long time to find what I wanted, and then it was kind of like I'd find something and then I'd go off in a different area and find something. So the hardest part of that speech, I think, was researching it and writing it down and then presenting it, and it was information that I wasn't familiar with, so I kept having to look down and make sure that I got it right as I was giving this speech. The third one that I gave was the persuasion speech, and that was on the vaccine. And that one there, again, a lot of research. There's a lot of information out there on the World Wide Web. So being able to track that down and limit what I was going to present so it wasn't such an overload was difficult for me. And then again, presenting it in a way that was persuasive, like getting people to take my side and believe what I had to say when there's so much controversy out there on whether or not people should get it. And people already are coming in to this, to the speech with their own opinions already and with their own experiences. And then having to present that was, I think, a little challenging for me. I probably should have picked something a little less controversial, I think, at this stage in the game with the pandemic going on, but I did it and it's done. So I learned a lot. That was kind of an interesting speech to give. The final speech that we're doing is a tradition speech, and I think that one will be easier for me because it's something that I know. It's going to be something that I've been doing for years, and can look up a little bit of, history behind it and stuff like that. But as far as presenting it and writing it, I'm not going to have as many emotional attachments to it because I've picked something that's kind of fun. So the hardest part for me, I would say, on all of the speeches was presenting the visual aids. I really had a difficult time managing how to get the visual aids included into the speech without making it look tacky. So I think when you were giving a speech in public or in person, you would have the projector behind you. You would be able to put up your visual aids on the screen without having to adjust it on the video here, and you would have your handouts, you would have all of those things ready to go if you were giving the speech in a classroom per se. I think that that overall I did okay. I'm older, so I feel comfortable speaking in front of people. I know I say a lot and I use a lot of hand gestures. But if I were in a classroom or giving an actual speech, if possible, I would walk around because that gets people engaged versus standing in a podium. And maybe that's the teacher in me. I've been a teacher for years, so I like to walk around the classroom as I'm giving a speech or giving a lesson and get the kids involved and just kind of make sure that people have their eyes on me versus doodling or something else. All right, well, that's my assessment speech. I'm getting a little talky here, so I'll end it here.